the next concept in number system, finding the number of zeros in any expression. Okay, in this, first I will start with the factorials. Factorials concept. See, we know that 1 factorial is equal to 1, 2 factorial is equal to 2, 3 factorial is equal to 6, 4 factorial is equal to 24. In these 5 factorial, we get the resultant is 0. Means we will start here, the number of zeros in a 5 factorial is equal to 1. Means after 5 factorial, if any value is given, we can get number of zeros. Okay, number of zeros means, for example, if 10 power 1 is exactly equal to 10, so we know that 10 square is equal to 100 and 10 cube is equal to 1000 and 10 power 4 is equal to 10,000. It means the power value, whatever the power value, it indicates number of zeros. So the power value indicates number of zeros in the any expression. See, it's a 10 square means number of zeros are 2. 10 cube, number of zeros are 3. 10 power 4, number of zeros are 4. For example, if 10 power 21, the number of zeros. So the number of zeros is exactly equal to 21. First of all, see how we are getting number of zeros. For example, 10. If you get 10, definitely that is depends on 2 into 5. And 10 square we get 100. 100 can be defined as 2 square into 5 square. Clear? Means if you get zeros means the total number is depends on number of 2's and the number of 5's. So depends on 0 is calculated based on number of 2's, number of 5's in the given expression. Means if we want 0 as an expression, we need to focus on how many number of 2's are available, how many number of 5's are available. How many number of 2's are available means we need to find what is the maximum power of 2 concept. How many number of 5's means we need to identify what is the maximum power of 5. So these are the two important things we need to calculate it, number of zeros in this particular concept. So focus on 2 maximum power, 5 maximum power. Okay, just see the different questions. If 20 factorial, find the number of zeros. Find the number of zeros in 20 factorial. That is the question. See, if it is any factorial, just identify how many number of 2's and how many number of 5's. It means the maximum power of 2. Maximum power of 2. It means the given number which is divisible by 2 and next number should be half of the previous number. It means 20 divisible by 2, that is the 10. Again, 10 divisible by 2, that is the 5. And 5 divisible by 2, that is 2, and 2 divisible by 2, that is value of 1. And same thing, identify the maximum power of 5. So maximum power of 5 means 20 divisible by 5, the value become 4 only, and 4 is not divisible by 5. In this means if it is a 20 factorial, the maximum power of 2 is exactly equal to, the total resultant is a 18. And the maximum power of 5 is equal to 4. But we required number of zeros means we have a property a power m into b power m exactly equal to ab whole power m. In this resultant, so product of these two numbers means 2 into 5, the value become 4. Why? Because 5 and 2, out of these two numbers, the minimum power between two numbers can decide a number of zeros in the given expression. See, out of these two, minimum power is defined number of zeros in the given expression. It means the total number of zeros means 10 power 4 into 2 power 14. Means these can be decided number of zeros. The number of zeros in 20 factorial is equal to 4 only. Okay, if you go to one more question, I just go with a 35 factorial. So number of zeros in 35 factorial. So in this question, I just identify the maximum power of 2. The maximum power of 2. See, the maximum power of 2 means 35 divisible by 2. So that is value becomes 17. And 17 by 2, 8. And 8 by 2, 4. 4 by 2, 2. And 2 by 2, 1. So the total resultant 17, 25. 25 plus 30, 30 plus 2, 32. The total number of maximum power of 2 is equal to 32. And same thing, the maximum power of 2. Sorry, the maximum power of 5. See, 35 divisible by 5. 35 divisible by 5, the value becomes 7. And 7 divisible by 5, we have only one time. And 7 plus 1, the maximum power is equal to 8. So, in between these two, minimum power can decided. The minimum power can decided number of zeros in the given expression. It means we can raise 2 power 32 into 5 power 8. Out of these two numbers, the minimum power can decided number of zeros. So number of zeros means in the 35 factorial, the number of zeros are 8 only. Clear? So while we observe these type of question, so observe that between 2 and 5, the minimum power, between any of the minimum power can decided number of zeros in the given expression. If you consider as a 2 and 3, just observe that either 2 or 5 can consisting of minimum power. Those minimum power can define as number of zeros in the given expressions. Clear? So if you want 0 means you can focus on 2 and 5. Out of 2 and 5, the minimum power can decide number of zeros. Okay, just see the question. Find the number of zeros in 72 factorial. See, if you want to number of zeros in 72 factorials, 0 we required means we can focus on the maximum power of 2 and 5. So we want these one. So we already know that 2 maximum power always greater than 5 maximum power. So this is the highest maximum power when compared to the 5. So out of these two, the minimum power can decide number of zeros. Whatever the minimum power, that can decide it as a number of 0. By this concept, directly 72 can divisible by 5. So directly 72 divisible by 5, and next value 72 divisible by 5 square, and at next value 72 divisible by 5 cube. According to the previous concept, always numerator greater than denominator. That's why you can close these expression here. Or you can go with it directly. So 72 divisible by 5. 72 divisible by 5 means 5 14s are 70. And the next value should be off of the 14. Off of the 14 exactly for 2 times. And 14 plus 2, that 14 plus 2 can decide it number of zeros are 16. So from these expression, number of zeros are 16. Next see. Find the number of zeros in 77 factorial and 42 factorial. So go directly. I already mentioned that the 2 maximum power is always greater than 5 maximum power. Means find whatever the power given, find the power value of 5. Why? Because these power value is always minimum. Whatever the minimum power value can decide a number of zeros. So number of zeros, that is your concept. Then go with the direct one. If it is a 77 is given, so 15 5s are 75. Always these number is divisible by 5. And next number is 1/5 of 15. The value become 3 times. Those value is exactly equal to 18. And the same thing 42. So 42 divisible by 5. 42 divisible by 5 means that is 8. And 1/5 of 8 is exactly equal to 1. The total number of zeros are 9. Then the entire question, the total number of zeros are 18 plus 9 exactly equal to 27. So answer is equal to 27. Just see the next question. Find the number of zeros of 100 factorial plus 200 factorial. See, we need to add these resultant and these resultant. We don't know the entire resultant, but we are focused on number of zeros. If it is a number of zeros, definitely that is depends on 5 only. So take it as expression here. 100 divisible by 5, absolutely for 20. And again 20 divisible by 5, the value become 4. Means if you go with these entire expression, the number of zeros are 24. And the same thing for these value, if 200 divisible by 5, the value become 40. And 40 divisible by 5, the value become 8. 8 divisible by 5, the value become 1. So in this expression, we have 49 zeros. Clear? So in this expression, the n digits are 24 zeros. Here n digits are 49 zeros. If you add 24 zeros expression, if you add 20 zero expression and 49 zeros expression, whatever that, the minimum number can define as addition answer. Means 24 zeros expression plus 49 zero expression always indicated 24 zeros only. The minimum number can define as number of zeros. So the answer is equal to 24. See, in this expression, find the number of zeros in this question. See, here 15,625, 625, 875, 975 means power value of 5 is greater than 2 value. Why? Because 5 is there, it reaches the maximum value. That's why here the concept is 5 maximum power always greater than 2 maximum power. We need to recognize these types is important. Clear? The 5 maximum is always greater than 2 maximum means 2 maximum be the minimum power. So the minimum power can decided as number of zeros in the given expression. So from these question we need to focus on the number of 2's. Here we get number of 2's. See 4096, we know that 2 power 10 value is equal to 1024. If 2 power 11 exactly equal to 2048 and 2 power 12 exactly equal to 4096 means these value number of 2's consisting are 12. And here we get 1 2 here. So these can be written as 6 into 5. 6 into 5 means 6 can be written as 2 into 3. We get 1 2 here. Again 60 can be written as 12 into 5. 12 into 5 can be written as 2 square into 3 into 5. So from this question 2 maximum power can indicate the number of zeros. Clear? So number of zeros, here we have a 12, here we have a 13, 13 we have a 2. So total number of zeros are 15 only. So see, so while we observing these question, 5 maximum is indicated greater than the 2 maximum power. So number of 5's is greater than number of 2's. That's why you just focus on number of 2's only for this question. So try to observe that which one is the maximum power indicated. The minimum power indicated always number of zeros. Okay, see 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 3 factorial up to 50 factorials. Find the number of zeros. First see. So this is the important question. First of all, 1 to 4 factorial we never get any number of zeros. That is the point number 1. Next 5 factorial, 6 factorial, 7 factorial, 8 factorial, 9 factorial. If you observe these all the factorials, for example 5 divisible by 5, the number of zeros are 1. 6 divisible by 5, the number of zeros are 1. 7 divisible by 5, the number of zeros are 1. And 8 divisible by 5, the number of zeros are 1. If 9 divisible by 5, the number of zeros are 1 only. If it is a 10 factorial, the number of zeros are 10 divisible by 5, we get the number of zeros are 2. Means from 10 factorial to 14 factorial, the number of zeros always be the each factorial consisting of 2 zeros. Here 10 to 14 we have a 5 numbers. 5 into 2, the total number of zeros are 10. So in this way, see, in this way we need to finish these type of questions. First see. So I will explain detailedly. First 5 factorial to 9 factorial, the number of zeros. See, I just go to 5 factorial to number of 5 factorial to 9 factorial. We have a 5 numbers having a 1 0. The total number of zeros are 5 only. Next one, 10 factorial to 15 I just go to 10 factorial to 14 factorial. We have a 5 numbers. If 10 divisible by 5, 2 zeros means 5 2's are 10 only. Next, 15 factorial to 19 factorial. See, each factorial consisting of 3 zeros. Why? Because 15 divisible by 5 we have a 3. And each factorial is 3 zeros and we have a 5 numbers. 5 3's are 15 zeros. Next one, 20 factorial to 24 factorial. So we have a 5 numbers, each number consisting of 4 zeros. The total number of zeros are 20. Next, 25 factorial to 29 factorial. So the total we have a 5 numbers. So from these see, if it is a 25 divisible by 25 divisible by 5, we get a 5. Again 5 divisible by 1, we get a 1. Means the total number of zeros are 6. And we have a 5 numbers. 5 6 are 30. So in these onwards we get a 30. Next one. Continue. So we'll go with a 30 factorial to 34 factorial. See, the total numbers between 30 to 34 factorial are 5 numbers. And the number of zeros means 30 divisible by 5, the value becomes 6. Again 6 1 by 5, value become 1. The value becomes 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. Means 5 into 7, the value become 35. And next one, 35 factorial to 39 factorial. Total we have a 5 numbers. Again 35 divisible by 5. So 5, 7 and again 1. 7 plus 1, 8. So 8 5s are 40. We get the number of zeros are 40. Next one. I just go with a 40 factorial to 45 factorial. So 40 to 45 factorial means 40 divisible by 5. We get a 8 zeros and 8 1 by 5 one time. Means the total number of zeros are 9. We have a 5 numbers. 5 9s are 45. And next one. 42, sorry, it's a 44 factorial. Next one, 45 factorial to 49 factorial. The total numbers we have a 5 into. So 45 divisible by 5. The total number of zeros are 9. And 9 1 by 5. The total value become 1. So 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. So 5 into 10 is equal to 50. And finally, we just included 50 factorial. 50 factorial is a only one number. It means the total number of zeros are 50 divisible by 5, that is the 10, and 10 divisible by 1/5 of part, the value become 2. So the total number of zeros are 12. So in this expression, the total number of zeros exactly equal to, see, it's a 10, 15, 30, 30 plus 20 is equal to 50 plus 30, 80. Next, 80 plus 40, 120, 120 plus 30, 150, 150 plus 40, 190, 190 plus 10, 190 plus 10, 200, here 250 and 262. So in this expression, the total number of zeros are 262. So from this question, we need to divide it into individual factors. See, here the total number of zeros in this particular pattern. Clear? So this is the important questions in a GMAT level. See, same thing. Find the number of zeros in 1 power 1 into 2 power 2 into 3 cube into 10 power 10. So we already know that 0 can be depends on number of 2's and number of 5's. So in this expression, I clearly mentioned that the 2 maximum power is always greater than 5 maximum power. It means, see, the 5 maximum consisting of minimum power. So minimum power can decided as number of zeros. This is the concept for entire trailing zeros. Clear? See, so just focus. Here we get a 5, here we get a 5. So the number of zeros are 5 here. Here number of zeros are 5. So 5 plus, sorry, here we have a 10, here we have a 5. The total number of zeros are 15. This is the direct answer. Just focus on number of 5's. Here we get a 5, here we get a 5. Here we have a 5 5's, here we have a 5 10's. So 10 plus 5, the total number of zeros are 15 only. So answer is a 15. Okay, see. Find the number of zeros in 10 into 20 into 30 into 1000. See, first divided these format into the normal. Can I write as this value is 10 into 1 into, again 20 can be written as 10 into 2, 30 can be written as 10 into 3 up to, these can be written as 10 into 100. Then see, the total number of 10's in this expression is exactly equal to 10 power 100. And here 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into still 100. These I can written as 100 factorial. See, if it is a 100 factorials, if you want zeros means that is depends on 2's value and 5's value. So number of 2's and number of 5. If it is any factorial, the 2 maximum power value is greater than the 5 maximum power value. If it is whatever that minimum power, the minimum power can decided as number of zeros. The minimum power can decided number of zeros. So in this expression, try to identify the number of zeros. Means 100 divisible by 5, 100 divisible by 5, 20, and 20 divisible by 4, 20 divisible by 5, the value become 4. So the total number of zeros in 100 factorials is equal to 24. In 10 power 100, the number of zeros are 100. So the total number of zeros in this entire expression is exactly equal to 124. So that is the answer. See, if you add these numbers, 3,200, 1,000, 40,000, 32,000, 1 crore 50,000, sorry, 1 crore 50 lakhs. If you add entire these numbers, find the number of zeros. I clearly mentioned in the previous question, if you go with a addition, the minimum number of zeros can decide the total number of zeros in the entire expression. See, if you add entire numbers, see the minimum number, whatever the minimum power, see 0 zeros, 0 zeros, 0 zeros and 0 zeros. It can be decided number of zeros. The number of zeros in these expressions are 20. While we addition, the number of zeros can be depends on minimum number of zeros in the particular expression. So directly the number of zeros in this question is equal to 2 only. Don't go with the entire additions part. Clear? See, if the expression in terms of multiplication, if it is a multiplication, depends on the power value, we need to add simply. See, here we have number of zeros are 2, here number of zeros are 3, here number of zeros are 4, here number of zeros are 3, and here number of zeros are 10 power 6. So while we go to multiplication of all these resultant, simply add all the power values in the given expression. See, 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 3, 9 plus 3 is equal to 12, and 12 plus 6 is equal to 18. The total number of zeros in the given expression is equal to 18. See, these are the different questions we are getting from number system concept for finding number of zeros in the any expression. So once again I clearly mentioned that if you want number of zeros means that is completely depends on how many number of 2's and how many number of 5's. Means we need to decide it what is the maximum power of 2, what is the maximum power of 5. So based on the comparison of 2 and 5, the minimum power, whatever the comparison of minimum between the two powers, the minimum powers can decide number of zeros in the any particular expression. If you want 0, focus on number of 2's and number of 5. Out of 2, the minimum power can decide number of zeros in the any expression. Clear? Thank you.